When you hear the word legacy in IT, you might think of dusty old servers in a closet.
Forgotten hardware.
Exactly. But we both know that in the real world, legacy often just means too important to shut down.
Right.
And today, we're doing a deep dive into a very specific little device that keeps those systems talking to us. The NTI USB-SUN-R adapter.
It's a fascinating bit of kit. We're essentially talking about building a bridge between two completely different eras of computing.
Between what? Old Sun microsystems gear
The stuff that basically built the early internet.
and a modern USB KVM switch you'd find in a data center today.
Exactly.
So let's be clear for everyone listening. We're not talking about just plugging in an old mouse to play a game. This is for serious system administration, right? In the rack.
Oh, absolutely.
And the documentation really stresses that this thing is an active translator. Why is that word so important? I mean, why can't I just take an old cable and, rewire the plug?
Because the languages are just fundamentally different.
Mm-hmm.
Sun didn't just use a weird connector. They used a completely proprietary serial protocol for their keyboards and mice.
Ah.
So if you just splice the wires to a USB plug, the modern KVM switch would send a signal to the Sun computer.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't even recognize it. This adapter has to actively listen to the USB commands and then re-encode them into the specific data stream a Solaris box is expecting.
Okay, right. And that leads to the other big problem I saw, the keyboard layout. I was looking at the old Sun keyboards online. They were massive.
They're tanks, yeah.
And they had that whole separate block of function keys on the left, the Sun Extra keys, I think they're called.
That's them.
Keys like stop, again, props, undo. Things that just don't exist on my keyboard right now. So if I'm trying to manage this server through a KVM, how do I hit stop?
And that is the absolute core of what this thing does. The firmware inside the adapter handles all that emulation for you.
So it's mapping key combos.
Exactly. It maps certain key combinations from a standard Windows or even a Mac keyboard to those unique Sun signals. So you hit, say, a mapped key on your keyboard, and the adapter just whispers the correct hex code for props or undo right to the Sun CPU.
So it's basically tricking the server.
In the most helpful way possible, yes. The computer has no idea it's not talking to an original keyboard from 1998.
And it does all this while sticking to the USB 1.1 specification, which kind of surprised me. That feels ancient. Why not something newer?
It's all about stability. In a KVM environment, simpler is very often better. USB 1.1 is more than fast enough for keystrokes and mouse movements, and it guarantees compatibility with a huge range of KVMs, especially the NTI ones it's designed for.
And I did notice it's powered directly from the Sun keyboard port, so no extra power brick to worry about in the rack, which is nice.
A small thing, but it matters.
Okay, but I have to push back on one thing here, the price. This thing is listed at around $170 for what looks like a cable.
I had a feeling you'd bring that up.
I mean, come on. That seems really steep for a little protocol converter.
Well, you have to think about the context here. This isn't a consumer dongle you'd find at a big box store.
True.
It's part of an enterprise ecosystem, the Wolfpack line, from HDTVSupply. So you're not paying for the plastic and copper. You're paying for the engineering, the custom firmware, the testing, and the 2-year warranty.
So, the enterprise tech.
I'd call it cost of failure insurance.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you need this adapter, it's because you have a legacy Sun server running something critical.
Like a database for a bank or something.
Exactly. Something that makes way, way more than $170. Now, what happens if that server crashes and you can't get to the console because your cheap knockoff adapter didn't emulate the stop 8 command correctly? You're losing thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars a minute.
That's a very fair point. So you're paying for the certainty that when you type a command, the machine actually gets it. It makes this little adapter a crucial bridge between two very different eras of computing.
That's it. It lets a modern sysadmin manage a machine that might be older than they are, all from their nice, clean, modern console.
It really makes you think about how much of our world is just layers built on top of older layers. We think everything is new and in the cloud, but there's still some heavy iron humming away in a basement somewhere.
Which leaves you with a final thought to take away.
What's that?
We get so focused on the newest, fastest technology. But right now, somewhere, there's probably a beige Sun computer quietly running, holding critical data for a hospital or a power grid or a financial system. And the only thing allowing a human to access that data, the only link between it being useful or lost, might be this one. Specific $170 translator.
Makes you wonder what other invisible bridges are holding our digital world together. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.